All right, so it is officially the mid-season 9 break. We've got some news about The Walking Dead and what's to come for this season and The Walking Dead in general. We're going to watch a couple teasers. Well, we're going to watch one. The other one's not up. But anyways, we're going to talk about what they mean going forward, as we always do, because we're like a talk/after show-ish thing. So, yeah. There's going to be spoilers from the comic. We have no unreleased insider info, so this is technically just rumors, speculation, and theories. However, we have searched the internet for the very best stuff about what's to come. You have been warned. This is The Broken Dead.
She did it first.
What's up, guys? This is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
I'm Quin Kruger.
Halloween episode was a couple weeks ago, bro.
I just keep finding things in my closet.
And I can't blame you, man. I would totally have those. Like, I wanted those so bad when I was a kid.
Right? Saw these when I was like in the 8th grade. And I was like, I gotta have this. So, there we go.
Like, I was going to be Freddy Krueger one year for Halloween. I almost said Christmas. Tim Burton's my
Merry
dad.
Christmas.
No, not really.
But your dad's name is Tim.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Dad, by the way. It's his 63rd birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
But anyway, yeah, I went to go get some, and they were sold out, so all the other kids took my Freddy Krueger possibility.
I guess
never got
that
to
you
be.
could say that they stole your dreams.
So I haunted them in theirs.
No, actually the opposite, because you didn't even have the right paraphernalia to haunt their dreams.
Paraphernalia.
Equipment sounded weird.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair for sure.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or if you're listening in podcast, thanks for tuning in. We want to say hello to all our new listeners or watchers in the States, internationally, wherever you might be. Thanks for tuning in, and check out that website. It's www.broken.pictures.com. And you can find us on social media. Facebook, that is Broken Pictures Social. Instagram and Twitter, you can find us at broken_social. And if you're feeling generous, you can find us on Patreon at Broken Pictures. But more importantly, if you would just like, share, rate, and review the podcast or video that you're watching, we would appreciate that. That tells the algorithm that it's something that other people might want to see as well, and it kind of helps spread things around for us.
Yep.
Gets reaches more people.
And we appreciate it, even though he said that like 4 times.
Yeah, we just super appreciate
Can't
it.
say it enough.
Yeah, we're super thankful. Super thank. It's like, I don't know, my wrestler name. So anyway, YouTube viewers, if you guys enjoyed the show, if you would subscribe, and you can hit the little bell icon, and you will get notifications for new episodes and new videos when they come out. Yeah.
More cowbell.
Dong dong.
The bell.
That was SVU. Dong dong.
Oh, yeah. Law and Order
That was
SVU.
not, yeah, it's not the same thing. Anyways, yeah, so it's my dad's birthday. Happy 63rd birthday, Dad. That was in the special notes. I already said that. But anyways, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We're going to get into the stuff right now. We've got some news for The Walking Dead. We're going to cover right now. The last episode was episode 8, the mid-season finale. And so that was a week ago. We've had the first Sunday without The Walking Dead, and we're not in remission yet. So we're still struggling.
It was strange. We watched a movie in place of it because we just didn't know. We found ourselves on the couch and was like, what do we do now?
We started watching The Cool Kids.
Heard of it.
Yeah.
Heard of it.
It was surprisingly funny.
Really?
For any show that I watch, if it's like supposed to be a comedy, if you can get me to laugh 3 times in 5 minutes, all right, I'll watch you.
Nice.
So
cool.
We watched The Girl on the Train or A Girl on the Train.
Yeah,
What
The
was it
Girl on the
called?
Train.
And it was
Frightening.
It was good. I really enjoyed like the first 45 minutes of it. And then it kind of hit a lull. Like, they waited a little too long in between Act 2 and 3, but then it picked back up, and I really enjoyed it. Have you seen it?
I
Yeah.
have not.
You should.
Emily Blunt is phenomenal.
Of course. Always. That's a
Yeah.
Mary
given.
Poppins.
What?
Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so drastic. Like, I mean, she can go from super crazy to super perky. I mean, she can
Just
do it all.
like, literally, A Quiet Place is the same actress who's going to be Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
That's as drastic as you can get.
The Girl on the Train was pretty out there too.
Yeah.
Like, she played a crazy person.
She wasn't
Okay.
crazy. She was an alcoholic.
Yeah, alcoholic.
Oh.
But her mental state like was cracked. She was going through some serious trauma.
Don't
Anyways,
stop. You're going to make me correct you, and that's going to be a spoiler, so.
anyways. Just throwing this out there. Entertainment Weekly just voted her and John Krasinski like their
Entertainers of the Year.
entertainers of the year. You know they're married, right?
That's what I was about to ask. Like,
Yes,
aren't they?
they are.
That's
Yeah.
That almost feels strange.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
me, that's like goals.
It's not Pam.
Hashtag goals.
Yeah, Matt Damon was like doting on him, like we haven't even started to scratch the surface of what this couple can do, and
Yeah.
he sounded just like
You know what they should do though?
like
What
They
should
Kill.
they do?
Bring it,
should
Bobby.
be Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman.
I completely agree with you. That is amazing. I want to see that. I want to see that intro post-credit teaser.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, someone like me who only remembers when Fantastic Four, whatever y'all talking
When
about.
Captain America was Human
Will you
Torch.
listen to me?
Ha,
When it
those
was on
days.
FX. Okay, so I only ever watched it when it came on TV on FX. And so that's the one where Mr. Fantastic, the guy you're talking about, is stretchy. Okay,
Yes.
so John Krasinski's hair could stretch too because it's already so tall.
What?
I don't know.
I guess
what-
technically
Okay.
Mr. Fantastic would need a haircut. Well, he can stretch. Can he retract?
Yes.
Duh. He don't walk
Like,
around
I mean, can he
all-
like shrink himself? I've never
Oh,
seen
get
that.
smaller?
Yeah.
No.
I've seen him like make himself flat.
Yeah.
But I've never,
Like,
Not-
I mean, he
not
can go
top
back
of
to
my
his
head.
normal, and he can go out from there. But can he go in from there? I wonder.
Could Stretch Armstrong
Maybe.
get smaller?
Like, I mean, he
Then
keeps
no.
the same. It's either the same mass or bigger, not smaller. Like he was flat himself. It's the same mass, you know.
Yeah, same mass, just different dimensions. Oh no, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to find that out.
You guys
'cause-
are going over my head here.
Yeah, so this is a teaser
Google it.
for what we're going to do starting next week. We're going to start doing a pop culture podcast, and we're going to talk about stuff like that. So stay tuned and look out for that. And we still haven't named the dang thing, but but it's going to be out there starting next week. So watch out for it.
It's a popular search item on Google. So apparently we're not the only people who think about this.
Yeah, it's a thing. Oh, you talking about his
His
if he can shrink.
retractingness?
Oh, I thought you were talking about that John Krasinski thing.
No.
Ouch, excuse me. No, I feel like he should, because other stretchy heroes, and like in DC, Plastic Man, he's able to make himself into a little tiny ball,
Yeah.
and he has basically the same powers. An elongated man can change his shape, so should be like elongated man can turn into another person if need be.
Oh, that makes sense because they can change. Yeah, he can change his shape.
No definitive answers on here, but
It's possible. He just probably hadn't tried.
yeah.
And that's something we should have asked Stan Lee.
It says,
Aw.
can he shrink himself like Ant-Man? And it says, not without Pym particles. I don't know what that means.
That's what he
yeah,
uses to shrink.
Shrink himself.
So I guess no. Not.
He can't shrink himself like just taking himself and then turning into a smaller thing, but
Right.
like he could still keep his same mass and like say fold himself 50 times into a little box thing.
Definitely.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
That's as far as I got. Nothing else was
Like he
thrown up
could
in
turn
the
into a ball, but he would be a big ball. Like however much mass it takes to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. That was a diversion. So back to The Walking Dead. What we're here for. There's been some advancements. There's been some new information dropped since the season finale, or mid-season finale, excuse me. And we're going to cover that right now. There's a lot to talk about. So, strap in. Some news. We've got The Walking Dead is opening up new studio tours through Riverwood Studios. They're going to give 2-hour tours on key set locations for the Heaps, Walker-infested pond, the Hilltop, Oceanside, the Glenn and Abe Memorial, the Sanctuary, and Alexandria.
And what were you going to say?
What is this? The Glenn and Abe Memorial? Like, I thought it was just, they just had graves. They, like, build something for them?
Like, behind the scenes, there's like a spot where, like, where they were, like, where Negan killed them, I think.
Oh, that's cool. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's pretty neat is that, like, we went to the website, Dylan sent me the link, and it's really not that expensive for tickets.
Yeah, it was like $65 a piece.
Yeah,
or
65 for adult and 45 for children. So, whereas I would have imagined it to be a lot more expensive, that's pretty
Yeah,
pretty
it's
neat. So if
reasonable,
you're
yeah.
thinking about some gifts for two people who are going to be getting married and getting hitched, I mean, it wouldn't be out of this world to send us to adult tickets. I mean, I'm sure that we'll fly through. We'll have a layover in Atlanta if
Yeah, we
I
could
had
we
to-
could
was a
manage
betting
that. We can make that happen. Yeah.
anyway.
So if you can get to Atlanta, the tickets are not that expensive.
Yeah.
And this isn't a promotion unless they want to pay us for it with
We'll go
tickets or
through
something.
and video ourselves going
Yeah.
through. Actually, are you allowed to do that?
I don't know. We'll see that. You probably need to look in the rules on the website.
Yeah.
Another bit of Walking Dead information. Quinn showed me the trailer. Negan is officially on
Yeah.
Tekken.
He is. He is the last character for the season pass 2, and they made him vicious. Like, I watched the show Dylan trailer. I watched it yesterday, and the entire time I was just like, oh, because all he did was just take that bat and just bust it up into his kneecaps, against your chest, put it in your stomach, and then he killed Paul. So, but yeah.
The footage was
Hi, I'm Paul.
amazing. Like they
Yeah.
nailed his movements and this fighting style, like the brawler style. Yeah, it was consistent. And I want to say that was Jeffrey Dean Morgan's voice too.
It was.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Unmistakable.
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
All right, and a third bit. There's a new graphic novel called The Walking Dead Typhoon that will take place in China. This is only as far as I know, the second time that they've gone overseas outside the U.S. or the mainland here with the story of The Walking Dead. It's going to be written by Wesley Chu, who wrote The Lives of Tal and Time Salvager. If you've heard of those, I'm not big into the graphic novel presence like I once was. We don't have a comic
Have you
shop
read
that I
those?
visit every weekend here. This is the second time. The first time was The Alien. It was a digital comic. Took place in Spain, in Barcelona, where Rick's brother Jeff.
I guess that I've never really thought about it in terms of The Walking Dead. I think about it when I think about what I would do if the apocalypse really happened, but why are none of them like, oh, where are my parents that are probably ailing and 60
Ancient,
and
yeah.
nobody's even looking for them. Like Rick never was like,
know who
well, I
thought
got a
about that?
brother.
You know who thought about that? The Greens.
Who?
The Greens. Maggie and Beth.
They already lived with their parents. Okay.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sorry.
Quit doing that.
I don't know why Maggie was old enough to live on her own, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was like in her 20s.
Yeah. Maybe they
It
just that
seemed
type of
like
family.
she still lived in the house.
Yeah, it did.
It was a farm.
Well, that's
Maybe.
true. They found them after the apocalypse, so maybe she had moved it back home because of it.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
If my parents, since my parents do live on a farm, that is where I'll be going if the apocalypse does happen. But I would do that if I'm going to shut up now because I'm just saying the same thing.
That's all right.
But
I do that all the
time. But with this new graphic novel, one thing, when it got announced, one thing that popped in my head, have you ever seen or played Resident Evil 6?
Not 6, no.
Okay, so in Resident Evil 6, when you're playing Leon S. Kennedy's story, he's in China. And there's one point where you're coming down on a plane and just in the main street, there's this massive massive, just horde of zombies that go on for miles.
Oh my gosh!
Because of just of how many people are in China.
Oh,
and
wow.
like even once he got like to some of the side streets, like once they got a good whiff of them, they started pouring in there, and like every time it was just like hordes of zombies, no matter where you went.
Wow.
Maybe that's why it's called
I didn't think
Typhoon.
about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Swimming
it's
in
like
zombies.
an ocean of zombies. That's oh my gosh. That's a whole different element like that. I didn't think about that. That's pretty exciting. But this is going to be one of 7 planned Walking Dead graphic novels from now through 2020. So I know for another one of Robert Kirkman's comics, he's doing like multiple It's like the same story, but he's having. Bless you. Can you not do that in the microphone?
I didn't know it was gonna make noise. Normally I sneeze like and it's silent.
Yeah, it was surprisingly silent.
Sorry.
That's all right. So, for another one of Robert Kirkman's comics, he's doing kind of like the same story, only happening simultaneously in multiple parts of the world, and he's having authors from that country write that comic.
Love it.
And it's going to be filtered through their culture.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this could potentially be the same type of thing.
That's the kind of thing that I can get behind. Like I can 100% support something like that, even if it's not exactly what I think it should be or whatever. Like just the values that go into the thought that it takes to be respectful enough to do something like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm down to support it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I mean, I think it would be fun to write that comic, but I have no context to write that accurately.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you get everything right, because if you say something wrong, then you could have like everyone just hate you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, just like simple things as far as like culture issues, just like a handshake might something simple like that might mean something completely different over there. You know.
Yeah.
And have totally different implications. That would be interesting to have an American misinterpret stuff like that, and be introduced that way. But then you get into just like the white savior thing, and that like the Matt Damon Great Wall movie thing.
The movie wasn't bad, but Matt Damon shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
So.
It's what was it, The Last Samurai? There's a bunch of, it's like, okay, we're gonna have an all cultural cast except for the one white hero.
The only guy that survives too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So the last episode title was Evolution, and let's get into what's next on The Walking Dead. We are officially in the mid-season break. 1 weekend, and The Walking Dead will be back on February 10th, 2019. As far as I know, there's no episode title or description release yet for episode 9.
It's called Bro Get Out the Forest.
Yeah, they're at the hilltop.
Are they? Oh yeah, they are. Just like,
Oh no, they're in the graveyard. That was where last we left.
Are there
off.
trees in the graveyard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Scooby-Doo and the gang had just unmasked.
That was the memes going around about that are solid quality memes.
Yeah, and then Daryl's dog. I mean, it's perfect. Zoinks.
I really hope that at some point, when Alpha shows up, that someone in the background goes, "Who's Alpha?"
Yes.
I really hope that
Yes.
happens.
Yeah, and I'm so looking forward to all the Comic-Con pictures of Scooby-Doo Walking Dead crossovers. It's like Daryl with either dressed like Shaggy or Fred's.
He's definitely Shaggy.
He's most definitely
yeah,
Shaggy.
that's true. That's true. He even resembles Shaggy. He's like an older Shaggy.
If anyone was gonna be Fred, they just killed him. It was Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe Alden.
I just like the yeah. I just like the contrast of Daryl dressed like Fred.
He would have
Just
to
that mental
severely
picture.
change. He'd have to shower. This is a requirement to be Fred.
Yeah, he's like spotless from here down. So anyway, so season 9 has officially finished shooting and is in post-production. Excuse me. Angela Kang and the gang has gone back to L.A. and their respective places and have began working on development of season 10.
Oh, so
Woohoo!
they made it. Good job,
Yeah.
everybody.
So as
Well,
far as
not
like
everybody made it.
Wow.
yeah, and if things are going the direction they're going, not many people are going to cross over into season 10.
Yeah. Might be a whole new cast.
Yeah, except for Maggie, who just conveniently wasn't there during the.
I kind of hope that the fair's not the season finale. I
That'd
kind
be
of
really
hope.
disappointing.
I hope
It's going to
this-
be okay.
I hope it's a season premiere for next year or for next.
No,
season.
it's going to be in this season because they showed a clip of it in the teaser.
So it'll be the season
Yeah.
premiere because that's how they are.
Oops,
They like
sorry,
to
guys.
kill people and walk away.
Please don't.
Yeah, they're
Leave us
They
to
better
deal
not.
with the repercussions.
Yeah, surely they have learned their lesson about cliffhangers.
Yeah.
And will show us what happened, and then get into the afterwards in season 10.
I highly doubt that will happen with the way the beginning of the show went when they're like talking about this huge event that we still have yet to see or know what it's talking
Yeah, and
about.
That's
And
what
she-
I think the
she did
season
say-
finale is going to be this year.
Really?
It's going to be whatever, like why Daryl and Michonne have the same X
X.
mark on the same spot and all that and everything. And I sound really stuffed up. I hate the way I sound right now.
At least you
But-
don't have headphones on.
But I kind of hope it's that, and then like after they have the flashback, and they're like, oh, da 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 da, everything's fine, and then Michonne's like, okay, I'll go to the fair, and then in season, beginning of next season, death.
I really hope she doesn't go to the fair though. That way she can just be sitting up there and be like, "Yeah, I told you so. I knew it."
Yeah, it's gonna happen, and she's gonna be right. But
But then she's gonna be more distraught than she
Yeah.
was before because she's gonna wish that she had
Yeah.
convinced them.
we are getting way ahead of ourselves. Let's watch this teaser real quick. If you guys haven't seen the teaser for what's coming in season 9B, second half, we're gonna watch it right now. We ready?
Yes.
What happened? Maybe that would have happened anyway. But now we know. There's a new enemy.
You're more like us than them. We don't belong with these people. This fair could be our last chance.
What does it mean for Alexandria to survive if the kingdom falls?
It means if Alexandria survives.
Oh snap!
Where did they get a coffin from? Like an actual coffin?
That was a fancy coffin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, right at the start of the apocalypse, the morgues and all them probably had a lot of business. But then after they start coming back,
For
they're
like
just
the first day.
yeah, after they start coming back, they're like, well, no one's using these. They keep coming back. So they're sitting around. They just got to go to funeral homes. Or they made it. One of the two.
There has
Plenty
to be
in
a
the DC
meaning
area.
behind the fact that it seems like I would assume that that's Jesus in the only fancy coffin in the apocalypse.
Well, because he's the leader, maybe they just did, honoring
Does
him in
Maggie
that
come
way.
back for the memorial?
I don't
She
know.
hears Jesus dies, and that's the last episode.
Yeah. Well, there is a theory rumor thing. I don't know if it's confirmed or whatever, but since Lauren Cohan, we heard from the very beginning that she was coming back for 6 episodes, and we only got her for 5 so far.
So,
But-
yeah.
It's a flashback.
Well, the way it dropped out, everybody was like, "Whoa, what happened to Maggie?" Because her and Rick, she just vanished under Rick's shadow, And so everybody, all the fans were like, "Whoa, hey, what happened to Maggie? She's a huge character. You just gonna let her go out like that?" So AMC and The Talking Dead or The Walking Dead released a statement, basically saying that she was done and she would be back for season 10. She was coming back. So I don't know if that's them, kind of dancing around that she would be back for one more episode, and without trying not to reveal it or what, So maybe we'll see her, or maybe we won't. It would make sense, especially if they're going to cover what happened between Maggie and Michonne.
Yeah, I think they definitely will. That's why they teased it, because the shot we see of Michonne with her katana out that's a flashback. Like, she's old Michonne.
Mm-hmm.
And so I very well think that we'll get a flashback involving Maggie.
Yeah, Angela
Lauren Cohan.
Kang said that we would find out about the scars, like what happened this season.
Okay. Wow.
I'm excited for that, but I hope that they don't try and compact it all into one episode. Like, they stretch everything else so far to reveal everything in just one episode will be a little deflating.
Yeah.
That's why it should be the last 2 episodes.
Agreed.
Well, as far as, they've still got 8 episodes they can put this all between, and they've done a good job balancing Rick's exit with the launch of the new season, the new world or whatever. Broken World is what they're calling it. Shout out to our
They
Westworld
did good
coverage.
pacing. You mean they skipped it? They're just like, here, let's go 6 years.
Well, they did skip in between, and they've teased what happened between. But as far as like every episode has been good, has been interesting, So they've paced it to where you didn't feel robbed. Like, it was like, wait a minute, there's no. They've leaned into it being a teaser for the second half of the season. So I guess we'll see how they handle the second half. If we feel satisfied or not.
Bless you? Are you supposed to say bless you when that happens?
We literally talked about that. That's funny. Like, we recorded this last week, and then like immediately after we recorded, a bunch of stuff came out. So I was like, we're gonna scrap that and just redo it. Plus, you weren't here to like talk about comic book stuff.
Oh, okay.
And because he had to go. He had family stuff last week.
I did.
But, she kept hiccuping, and I was saying, excuse you, bless you. And she was like, you don't say anything for that. That doesn't work like that. It's involuntary. Yeah, in her best Maggie impression. Mark you down for that.
I feel like I could probably do a better Southern accent than the British Lauren Cohan could.
I don't know. Like, she's starting to... like, her original accent is starting to disappear.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's hard to even tell that she's British now.
Yeah. But when Andrew Lincoln, who stays in Rick on set the entire time, even, like, when they're visiting fans, he never breaks character. You hear him during an interview, and he's like, "Oh, hello,"
audibly British.
Yeah. So there's a lot in this teaser. There's a lot. So Sadiq is asking Michonne what happens if the where'd it go?
You kind of skipped right down into it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he said, what does it mean for Alexandria to survive if the kingdom falls? And she's basically like, it means Alexandria survives, like cold-hearted.
I don't think that it's cold-hearted, though. Like, it's the same concept in a way of just like, well, I've got to look out for me and mine, Yeah,
I kind of feel like you're with your family who you expect everybody to have each other's backs. And then, like, it hits the fan, and everybody's like, see ya, bro. And it's just like, what? I thought we were a team, Like, Rick would not stand for that. Rick would not stand for that.
But we don't know what happened. We don't know.
Yeah, it could have been something obviously that broke all the communities up, and it's probably just going to be Maggie being like, all right, Rick's gone, I'm in charge. Michonne's like, nah, bro. And then they fought.
You can be you, we gonna be us.
Yeah. And that's just kind of how it happened.
I kind of think that that's what the voiceover of Aaron saying what happened, maybe that would have happened anyway, is kind of the same thing. Like, we don't know that we would have all stayed as one community. Like, we very well could have broken up even if the big event that they're alluding to hadn't have happened.
Yeah, and even though, like, the voiceover is over Jesus' funeral, we really don't know what context he's saying that in.
Right. Like, it could have been...
Go ahead.
No. Yours
What?
is
Okay, so... Alright. Did they find out Oceanside was killing all the saviors?
Yeah. Oh, wait. We know that
We know Maggie
and
knows.
Daryl knows.
So what if, like, after everything was done, like, Michonne and everybody else found out, and they're like, nah, y'all either gotta go or die. And then Maggie's like, no, they made the right decisions, or they were still finding saviors and, like, executing them. And Michonne was trying to stop them, and Maggie was like, no, they need this.
Well, I think that like that's a whole thing because there was a fan theory that Alexandria executed them for their crimes, but that doesn't stand up because they imprisoned Negan and they're getting away from execution, right? So that theory doesn't stand up. Plus, last episode they mentioned Oceanside, that like they're still around, so they're there somewhere. They probably just went back to their own deal or whatever. But I think what happened, because we get right before Maggie and Diane from the Kingdom, originally from the Kingdom, get to the bridge, like when Rick, on Rick's last episode, right? And he's making his way back to the bridge and they're all kind of converging at the bridge, whatever, or at the camp. She's actually going to Alexandria to get to see Negan. And so this is before that. He's still headed to the bridge. But anyways, they pass like 2 or 3 walkers who have been, like their heads have been chopped. 2 of them, their heads have been chopped off and one has a hatchet in their back. And they just kind of look at it weird and keep going. And they never answered what that was. Like when it happened, I was like, whoa, what was this? You know, was this saviors that killed them or whatever? But somebody just left their hatchet and they never really explained. I think it's a teaser for what happened. And I think immediately after the explosion, it drew attention or people were around because they had a camp set up. People were watching and ready to attack. Because, yeah, I mean, people converge at that kind of stuff, especially bad guys, anybody. I'm surprised that they didn't just have people wander up and be like, hey, guys, you know, because they're out in the middle of nowhere, just being loud, making construction, diverting walkers. And, I mean, they're a big thing going on. I wouldn't be surprised if it drew negative attention from some group that after the explosion on the bridge saw the weakness, that everybody was broke down, Michonne was broke down, and struck immediately then. And that's why we cut from Michonne crying to the jump, like immediately.
So, who do you think killed those walkers?
I don't know. Some big bad that did the X's and stuff. I think all that happened immediately after.
So you're saying like a big bad came in, killed them right in front of Maggie, and like I don't.
No, didn't kill him in front of Maggie. Like
no, I'm saying like before Maggie and them got there.
Somebody's phone's buzzing.
That was mine.
I think they were in the area, and Maggie saw that they were in the area. Like they just kind of looked at it and kept on going, and it was on the way to Alexandria from Hilltop. And so I think that is teaser. It's teasing that there was another group around, and I'm saying that group. My theory is that group is what attacked, and that's where the X's came from and everything. Because I mean, you think about it, like who's going to take down all of them and get Michonne and get Daryl and all them, and
they might play into like the kind of the story that Negan told about the dog and bringing the wrong dog home and everything. They just kind of show up. Everybody's all still sad and everything. They're like, hey, you know, we saw everything that happened, blah, blah, blah. We realize y'all have a community. Can we come stay here? And then,
yeah, and they had their guard down because they had just lost Rick and everything.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. Because, I mean, when else, the way they're talking, Daryl has been come and go since. And we even see Daryl wander off at that point. When else were they all together?
That'll be it. That's the
Bum,
only
bum,
time.
bum.
Unless like it was when.
Mic drop. Go ahead.
Unless it was when he came in and checked in for supplies.
Possibly. But
Or they kidnapped him on the way and was like, where's the community that you came from?
I don't think Daryl would have talked.
No.
I mean, he's got too
think
many
so
people
either.
killed already.
I'm just trying to get rid of your theory because I don't like it. So I'm just trying to discredit it.
It's fine. Devil's advocate. Pick it apart.
This doesn't explain why I haven't seen Oceanside, but that's kind of like a whole nother thing at this point.
Were they even at the camp? I wonder. I
No.
don't remember.
No, they were.
They've been gone since before then.
Yeah, they were picking off saviors and stuff.
Yeah. So, have they even been around since the first time jump?
In some form or fashion, they had to have been because when Carol's son, I can't think of his name at the moment. Henry, that's it. When Henry is talking to the other teenagers, he's like, yeah, like they say, you've been to Oceanside, right? Is it really all women? He's like, yeah, it's all women, alluding to the fact that he's been there. And before that, we had not seen Henry go to Oceanside. And so...
Right. Yes, I mean, he's fully aware of Oceanside and all about it. So either he was told just from hanging out and listening, or he's been there.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's been there. Anyway, that's that. Another thing. So we hear somebody say, what does she say? You're more like us than them. And then we find out that it's in fact Lydia behind bars talking to Daryl, and she says, you don't belong with these people. and he seems to consider it and then goes about his business. So there's another theory for that, because there's a storyline with Negan that he infiltrates like the Whisperers, right?
Yep.
In the comic,
Infiltrates Whispers, tries to take them down from inside just a little bit, but double agent and all that good jazz. So maybe Daryl gets a little bit more Negan storyline.
Yeah.
And Negan gets a little bit more bat crazy.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit more Rick storyline with Aaron too. There's another thing that kind of alludes to this is like, remember the wings on Daryl's vest? Right on the first time jump where him and Rick are struggling, he's like one half of one of the wings is gone. It's like worn off. This time jump, both wings are gone. Like there's an outline.
He ain't no angel no more.
Exactly. The broken angel theory is that he's actually been out there and he's been scouted by the Whisperers, and that they're the ones that tied up Dog. Because remember, he went out and he was like, he's never been caught in the trap before.
And it wasn't like he got caught around the leg or anything like that. Like it was around his neck.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so they were, and that's just kind of like plot point or whatever, proved that they were there at that point, so we can see it. Even though I can't figure out why they would do that.
What do you mean? Why they would do what?
Why would they tie the dog up?
To attract Daryl out there, and then they would kill Daryl and use his skin and freak everybody out.
Yeah, but they do recruit. So Daryl at this point seems like he would be a logical recruit for them. He's been out there all by himself. Stink don't bother him. And could be Lydia trying to coax him to join them. And like she's maybe, like he is maybe.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like they've been watching him. And they know what he's about. That's how she's like, you're more like us than them. That's how she knows. Rather than just like, hey, you're a scruffy dude.
Maybe they were gauging his fighting ability when they tied up Dog. Because they have to
like
be
how he could escape. And,
yeah.
Which a young teenager had to help him.
like how he handled himself around walkers. Like they could just watch as a test. Ooh, that's good.
Maybe Daryl's a little bit jealous of everything Gabriel's been doing with Rosita, so he's like, "Hey, Lydia, what's going on?"
What?
You seem like that's how she's appealing to him, is she knows that he's been out there on his own. Oh. It's been all these years.
I don't know. I don't want to see Daryl and Lydia because she's like a teen.
She is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
She did not look like that at all.
Yeah. I think maybe that's just a little bit of wish fulfillment for you.
No, because I'm still Daryl and Carol.
Because her and
I'm just teasing.
Carl
That's
and
weird,
Clarence are
please
about the same age.
Little Norman Reedus crush going on.
No, I actually don't like Norman Reedus. I don't think he's attractive at all. I'm very uncomfortable now. Can we please
He's a
change the
scruffy
subject?
nerf herder. So yeah, he's basically the Han Solo of The Walking Dead.
At this point, yes.
Yeah.
And forever.
I completely disagree. Harrison Ford is still attractive.
He's more scruffy than nerf herder. So like basically the same storyline that they did with Eugene and the Saviors, could they be trying to pull with Daryl?
I hope not.
Yeah, because I mean that does seem like, I mean, that's exactly the same thing, but it's straight from the comics, so maybe people would be okay with it.
Or they could just give Negan his storyline and call it a day. And
Because he's out now.
Yeah. I'm really curious what they're going to do with Negan. I'm so excited.
They showed Beta, so that's coming. Well, except that on the teaser where we see Beta, Daryl is fighting Beta.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be, he could be getting Negan's plotline there too.
Could be. Or everybody's just at the fair. It could be at the fair too.
To me, the lighting of where Beta is and Daryl are fighting was like similar lighting to when Negan was in whatever building.
The sanctuary.
Yeah, and so I think that somehow they're like it's related in the same like series of events or something like that.
Like maybe they've taken over the sanctuary or using it or something.
Maybe.
Do they do that? No,
Because
they like
Dwight's
the
still
wild.
in charge of the Saviors in the comics. But here in the show, the Saviors are like not even a thing.
Yeah, they're pretty much all
So-
dead.
Yeah, they tried to do, because Daryl and Dwight are basically the same character.
Mm-hmm.
So they've kind of done away with Dwight. But there's another theory that Dwight is coming back and him and Sherry are in the Whisperers.
So I was talking to someone at work, and they said they had to like pause it several times, but they had looked, and when the walkers were kind of like meandering in the field, well, Jesus and Aaron and Daryl were just kind of looking on at them, as it was like panning. They shot the walkers, and it was panning away from them. They said that one of the walkers looked like Dwight.
But wouldn't that mean that they were like the walker was that Dwight's dead?
Yeah, that they killed Dwight and wearing his skin.
Oh, wow. That's a whole different animal right there. There was a pretty awesome theory that that Rick was going to disappear down the river and then show up at Alexandria's gates a little saggier than before. And it was going to be the Whisperers wearing his skin.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been
horrifying.
Yeah, like I'm like so down for that. Like, man, if you're gonna get rid of him, like let him go out like in the biggest way. Don't do any of this ex machina do ex machina stuff where you're just gonna save him at the last minute and just reset him. So yeah, there's another. Speaking of Negan, there's the Talking Dead's teaser is not online, so we can't show it to you or watch it right now. But it shows Negan at night wandering the streets of Alexandria, and he finds the shovel, and he stops out in the street and looks up and sees a house, and he goes in, and it's Michonne's house, and he goes upstairs into Judith's room. He cracks the door, and we see, it is Judith's room because we see the picture that she drew of her family when she was younger, before the time jump, up on the wall. And then Judith's not there, and he just kind of looks like, maybe I shouldn't be here. So, I think he's looking for Lucille. That's why he went there. But at the same time, since Alexandria burnt down, like, how does he know where Rick's house is?
He's been there enough times. I mean,
before it got burned.
That's a different house.
Yeah.
I think he's looking for Judith.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that the attachment that he has to Judith is much like the one he was trying to strike with Carl, and that he wants Judith to be his daughter. And he's going to
Wow,
replace like the mentality that the obsession he had with Lucille with Judith.
Ooh, that's
Let's
interesting.
not be creepy though. Let's just give him the bat, please.
Like that's not creepy enough. Yeah, in the teaser we see he's got a stick in his hand, but it's not Lucille. So he apparently didn't find Lucille. And
I think it's the shovel missing the shovel head.
yeah, like the shovel handle. That makes sense. But also, I mean, Judith and RJ are probably at somebody else's house being babysat, but at the same time, why wouldn't somebody just stay over there and let them stay in their own house while Michonne is gone?
On the off chance something like that happens. I'm
Or
assuming.
maybe they're just like more comfortable, like, I
Yeah,
want
they're
to
just
sleep in my
living
own
life.
bed rather
Yeah.
than Michonne's.
Yeah, they're just living life at this point, 6 years into safety. So, remember last time they made a point to show that Judith was sitting on the stairs with the revolver, ready to go if somebody came in? Wouldn't that be interesting if he closed the door and she's
just over there in
just
the
right
corner.
around the corner, like stick him up,
But
buddy.
she's not going to shoot Negan. That's why they showed that
She
she
might.
has an attachment and that she's out there.
Oh no, she straight up told him. She put
Yeah.
him in his place though.
It's like
That doesn't
numbers
mean
don't
that
care
there's
if you're a
no
good or bad
attachment.
person.
I don't think she would have a problem shooting him if he was a threat, to be honest, because she's a Jedi warrior.
I think she doesn't have a father
Girl, man,
figure
Judith.
in her life, and Negan is helping her with her math homework.
Except that when he tried to help her with life stuff, she was just like, "Screw you! Only want math help."
It's like, bro, you in jail. Well, I'm not taking advice from you. So yeah.
Yeah. That's something else that might probably not going to happen, but it would be interesting. There's also a couple of rumors floating around saying that Angela Kang said that they were going to do something in season 9B, which is the second half. We're just calling it 9B. That hasn't been done before on The Walking Dead. So a lot of people are speculating, saying that it's snow.
Yes.
That would be really cool. They've been talking about that for a couple seasons. It's like, how you could really change up The Walking Dead is put them in snow, because we hadn't seen snow yet.
Every time it's winter, it's always a freaking break.
Yeah, because it's Georgia. This ain't Georgia. This is D.C. though. So snow.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any inclement weather or anything like that.
Oh, except for the storm that wiped. Well, we didn't even see that. The storm that wiped out the bridge.
There was that
I mean,
time
there's
that they were in
rain.
the barn and it was like storming and they were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, let's fight all these walkers to death
That
in
was
this
pretty.
barn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. The tornadoes that wiped out everything except for the barn.
TV.
That's how it happens. It jumps, right? I mean, Dorothy. So anyway, there's another rumor that says that Henry, and this is unconfirmed, this is, as far as I know, speculation, that Henry will be a victim of Alpha's border massacre, but Rosita will be safe.
No, I don't want that to happen. Just kill Rosita. I'm sorry. I'd rather. I don't want them to not, because they already killed Carl.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, we're going to put literally half of Carl's storyline on Henry, and then we give a little bit to Judith, and there we go. But if they kill Henry, what?
Where's it going?
Yeah.
Where's this going?
Except that nobody likes Henry. and by the time it gets to that point, there might be something else revealed from the comics that will make you not care if Rosita died.
What do you mean? Like you have something specific in mind.
Yeah, in the comics, I just found this out just because I was scrounging around the internet. She in the comics, she's seeing Eugene, but she's
having an affair with
she
Gabriel.
gets pregnant with Sadiq's baby.
Sadiq?
Yeah.
Rosita, honey, what is you doing?
Yeah, and then her head ends up on a pike. But also, like, something happens where, like, her and somebody else gets ravaged by the Whisperers. Isn't that right? Like, they get captured and they get
I think it's Tammy.
Tammy Rose. Yeah, because that's one thing that they cannot show on AMC. Is
Yeah.
the Whisperers are savages. Like, they rape and pillage, like,
Viking type.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Khal Drogo's people.
Dothraki.
Yeah, they're basically the Dothraki of The Walking Dead.
Except without braids and horses.
Yeah,
That's
no
actually
honor
terrifying.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
No honor. And yeah, they do have blades, not braids though. Yeah. Oh, speaking of people being captured, we see in the teaser Alden and Luke like in the crops and they're surrounded by whisperers, so they're probably captured. And what would make sense is that they're captured and then used to barter Lydia's exchange. Because with Alpha coming up to the gates in the teaser with Daryl, that she's got nothing to barter other than just demand that they release her daughter. But in the comics, doesn't she barter or something like that? Exchange.
Yes. Forget who it is. But she ends up bartering for her exchange. She gets released. Lydia goes back with her, and then Carl leaves to go after her.
So how do they get Lydia?
They in the teaser we see when they come back, they've got somebody bound on top of a horse out front, like on the very first horse, and that is most likely Lydia. Because we left them in the graveyard. If you guys can't see, this is Ghost, it's our dog.
You definitely heard that and saw his tail.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just kind of doing his thing, so hope you don't
So
mind.
you're saying that like in the graveyard fight that they capture Lydia.
Yeah.
It's just remaining to be seen.
Yeah, they kill everybody, and it looks like everybody survives. So,
Well, Jesus, so sorry.
everybody that's left survives. So we don't lose anybody else in that deal, but they wipe everybody else out except for Lydia.
Sorry.
Like maybe she speaks or something, and they're like, "Whoa!" They talk.
Licking your back.
Well, she's also not too much like... She's not like as much as her mother. She's a bit weaker and like more to switching sides.
Oh,
like
okay.
Carl was able to like connect with her, and they were, get all entangled and everything. And she didn't want to go back after the trade happened.
Oh, really?
So, and that's partly why he went after her.
Oh, okay. And plus, I was wondering because they don't have names and they're not supposed to tell names or anything like that. But she automatically is like, "I'm Lydia." So I'm curious how. Maybe that's why they don't kill her, because Daryl's like, this is a girl, and he's having Beth flashbacks and kind of puts that on her. And realizes, he pulls off the mask, or she pulls off the mask, and is like, "Don't kill me, please. I don't even want to be here," or
I
whatever.
really hope they don't. From the look of the trailer, she didn't look like a teenager.
I didn't feel like she looked like a teenager at all.
She's supposed to be
Early 20s,
but she
late
could
teens.
be like in her early 19 to 21. And if that's the case, Daryl might be Carl.
Oh, I don't like that creepy old man vibe.
If she's like 21 or something like that, and he's barely 40 at the most.
What? No,
Oh,
Daryl
I
is
don't know, I
like
feel like he's
approaching
50.
50. At this point, especially the 6-year time jump, Daryl is approaching 50.
That sounds
I
about
saw
right.
that. Like somebody did the math, and Daryl's like approaching 50, if not 50.
Has the show confirmed that?
No, but it makes sense.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
And
they
agree.
said before
Ghost
that
really
Daryl was
circle.
in his 40s, that Daryl and Rick were in their early 40s, and now, so now
Right,
after the
bro.
6-year time jump, he's
bro's knocking on the door 50.
yeah.
No. Okay, that would be weird. I can agree that
Yeah.
would be weird.
Yeah. Plus, just how aged he seems. He just seems like an old soul. And then to put him with somebody that's kind of young and quirky. I mean, I get the Beth connection.
She's involved with people who wear walker skin.
Yeah.
Does that qualify as quirky?
Yeah, that's true. That is quirky. Everybody's got a personality quirk. But I don't know. I guess maybe I'm projecting Beth on her too, because I'm seeing her as like the Beth Daryl connection. And like a lot of people wanted that to happen, and a lot of people were angry. Heck no. Yeah, so that's what I'm kind of thinking, that maybe they're gonna try
I
to.
can see that. If like the Beth thing is like projected onto her, I can see how that would be weird. I don't like
Yeah.
that at all.
Yeah.
Especially when I ship Daryl and Carol so much, and Carol's got to be like.
Yeah. I think from his point of view, he might see her as Beth, but not as a romantic interest. You know, that just kind of like a little sister type thing, you know, and that's why he feels connected to her and is visiting her or whatever.
I don't know. this could go
Maybe
a
they
lot
were
of
going to
ways.
remix the connection between the two.
Or maybe he broke her out. I don't know. It
We
could go
could
a lot of
speculate all
ways.
day.
The teaser does show him flinging the doors open. But if he was breaking her out, it wouldn't be that dramatic.
I didn't see
It
the
wouldn't be
same.
like, "Hey, everybody, I'm breaking her out." But yeah, so then I mean, yeah, if he broke her out, that would be a great. Well, unless she didn't want to go back, but the trade still has to happen. He wouldn't be able to break her out and still get the trade to happen, because Alpha does show up, and he's the one that answers Alpha at the gate. So maybe he makes a deal with Alpha, and on his own decides that he's going to break her out and win points with these Whisperers, and plus they're trying to recruit him, and then he goes and infiltrates and from the inside, you know.
I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
Yep. So let's see where we at. We get all right. So there's a moment in Morgan's episode, Clear, from back in the day when Crazy Morgan, when he's staying in the little town square or whatever, and Rick finds him, and he's telling Rick about men wearing dead men's faces.
What?
Could that have been a teaser back then, or just Crazy Morgan? What do you guys think?
I smooth thought like the Whispers was going to happen the season after that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to like sped it up and everything, but I think he saw him back then.
Yeah.
I think he definitely did too. I did not remember that.
So, if there's that connection, and we're 6 years into, 6, 7.5 from the two time jumps from when Morgan left. Could Morgan show up again this second half
Possibly.
and find out, oh, where's Rick?
I haven't really seen how mixed in he got with the Fear the Walking Dead group, because we haven't been watching it. So I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
mixed in he is with
But-
that group,
yeah,
like
I'm
how
pretty
far
sure-
away he is.
But within the 7 years, why would he not want to
Try to
go
make
check
contact.
on him?
Yeah. Want to say, hey, how are y'all doing? Oh, Rick's gone? Well, bye.
Yeah, because he was like all sold on the world's going to need Rick Grimes, and
Or
apparently
maybe
not.
it's almost an identical situation to what happened, where he just kind of stumbles upon the group that Rick is in. I mean, because Rick got taken by the
Except
helicopter. What if he stumbles back along and finds him again by accident?
Well, except that if it's the Commonwealth, they're like in Ohio or something.
It's
but
not Commonwealth, though.
It's not. You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
So Georgie, after looking like more recent pictures of Georgie and everything, she's dressed like the leader of Commonwealth. Like to the T. Only difference is she wears glasses.
Whoa.
And if Georgie's community is Commonwealth, and that's where Maggie is now, then Maggie definitely got Michonne's stuff. And then after the Whisperers, some weird mess is going to go down, and Georgie's going to become a villain.
So what group is Rick with?
Yeah, some other
new group. I honestly could not.
Yeah, I mean, I need to look up like how far can a helicopter fly on one tank of gas, like to and from. So like that way we can get a radius of like how far away they could be. But Morgan's group, Fear the Walking Dead, right now they're still in Texas, I think. So, but they haven't made the time jump. So they caught up, and now The Walking Dead has made a time jump, so they're behind again.
So it would be okay if Morgan got reintroduced, because that could be in the future of Fear the Walking Dead.
Right.
I see.
With a beard.
Yeah, I would love to have Lenny James back on The Walking Dead.
I love Lenny James.
Especially with they need some strong characters. Not that Rick, Michonne, and Daryl aren't strong characters, but to throw Morgan into the mix, that would be great.
Especially seeing how Michonne is now. Oh, I would love those conversations.
Oh yeah, because he's just going to be like, and from what I understand on Fear the Walking Dead, he finally came to terms with everything and started just like, hey, we can help people.
Like
That was my best Morgan impression.
Like a sound mind again.
Yeah, he's back on track. So if he were to come in contact with them, he would probably be pushing the same agenda as Rick.
Which, in fairness,
Unless we see him crazy again, like he's made another loop and met another cheese man or something.
Cheesemaker.
Cheesemaker.
Cheese man.
Anyway, somebody was going to say something?
Nah.
Oh,
I changed my mind.
Oh, okay.
clap my hands.
So, all right. There's another rumor that on IMDb, Dwayne, Morgan's son, is listed for the back half of season 9. I haven't checked that out, but it's a rumor. I don't see how they would do that unless they brought Morgan back and showed a flashback.
Yeah,
But
they would have to.
it would have to be because
Was it like the same little kid or whatever? Or
same kid, yeah.
Or we never saw Dwayne die.
Right, Morgan just said he
Morgan
did.
said it in the same season that Clear was happening, right? Where he said that dead
wait,
men
wait,
are
wait.
wearing dead men's faces. What if the Whisperers have Dwayne as a walker, or one of the kids of a Whisper kid is wearing Dwayne,
that's gross.
and that's where we see him,
Or Dwayne is a whisperer.
or Dwayne is a Whisperer.
Let's do that one because it's the first one, the second one, that was gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be recognizable at this point. That many years
Yeah.
later,
Unless they keep the skin
like
moist.
leathery or.
Put the lotion.
They got the lotion on his skin.
How much lotion do you have to get to like keep that?
Dwayne's
Like,
getting
how is
ashy
the
again.
inside of that tolerable? Is what I don't understand. You're in the hot sun, in some
Gross,
like
get
a
down,
dead
man.
thing's skin.
He's like trying to crawl up in your
He
lap
is.
right now.
He
He's just a
is.
big lap puppy.
I think he has to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
We gotta hurry up.
Yep. All right. So,
Where are we?
We're at the end.
Gabriel. Yeah, we're at the end. So I got another thing. Gabriel did Gabriel tell anyone about the Jadis situation?
No.
And
Secretive, shady preacher didn't tell nobody.
yeah, so and also we know that that Heath was taken was traded by Jadis. Like they confirmed that, yeah.
I ain't know that.
Plus, another on top of that, like last season or so, when we see Rick on top, remember the cheesy background situation when
Yeah.
he got up and stood up and like
And
all
a little
smiled?
tiny helicopter in the back.
Yeah, we saw the little helicopter landing pad, but also we saw Heath's RV in there.
What?
Yeah, it was like down back around his shoulder arm area.
No way.
Yeah, and like people were asking, like, is that Heath's RV? So they planted that there, but the RV that Jadis was driving was Heath's RV.
Oh.
So
So when we said, "Oh wow, I recognize that RV," and we were talking about it, we were kind of right.
yep, and so with Daryl sweeping the ground and like looking for Rick and on the river and everything, why it makes sense that he would have found the RV and potentially even recognized it. Ghost, get down, man.
He's like
Go lay down.
avidly trying to get in my lap.
So
It's okay.
and if he's trading with Hilltop, I mean it's potential. I mean with him coming and going, there's potential that he hasn't said that he found it or didn't think it was a big deal or whatever to Tara. But if everybody's out there looking at the very beginning and they found it, like Tara would have made that connection for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, because she was there.
Yeah, but I mean at the same time, like it's different. It's they put armor and stuff around, or when they're like.
No, there was no armor. It was just dirty. But she
Could've
would
sworn there
like.
was,
I mean,
10 on the side of it.
I'm saying if everybody's connecting, talking with each other, and everybody knows what Gabriel knows about them trading people, and then Tara sees the RV, and everybody, and they put two and two together, that could also be potentially why they're so closed off. Like, there's somebody else out here. Like, where are they? Who are they? We're shutting our doors. You know, and plus, with like, if I don't think Jadis mentioned a helicopter, unless Rick told Michonne about him seeing a helicopter, which is possible, but not.
He doesn't exactly seem like an oversharer.
Yeah.
And it seems like shows like this love to not like share critical information
Yeah,
with
exactly.
other people.
They would have no plot if everybody overshared like they're supposed to.
Right. Can you believe what I saw today?
What did you see?
Like the
Yeah,
fact that
but
they
it
never
could
went
have
out
come up.
looking for it.
Yeah, it could have come up in conversation, but that could be one
Ghost.
reason why Michonne is so freaking paranoid.
Question. Did Rick get all the walkers when he blew up the bridge, or did he just like get? Okay, so that's what I thought. So I mean, if he didn't, there's still like half a herd back there that everybody's just kind of like downhill from. That they had
Yeah,
either have
they're
to deal with or
screaming.
like run away from or something.
Yeah.
So, I was just wondering that, and then if like they went to go search for Rick, Zombie Rick, or whatever they were trying to find afterwards, they did have to deal with the herd first. But by then,
Yeah.
they could have like.
And I can imagine the amount of walkers that were attracted to all the gunfire that had happened at the campsite minutes before the explosion.
Go lay down. So also, like, if Gabriel did not share this information, and could you imagine how, like, when it comes out, how Michonne and Daryl are gonna react? They're gonna be like, you know what?
Daryl's gonna
Like
punch
Daryl,
him.
yeah, Daryl's like, I've been out there for 6 freaking years, and you just forgot to share this information. That Jadis disappeared the same day. Like nobody
Like,
looked
nobody's
around.
even asked.
Yeah, nobody looked around and was like, "Where's Anne?"
They made very sure to not have her like a connection with anyone besides Gabriel. So everybody, she disappeared, died, whatever. It's like
Except, well, Maggie's gone now, but all the collages, the portraits on Maggie's wall, those were all made by Anne. They were. If you look, like they even when that scene begins, they even focus on the Glenn one and like comes in. But at first, like first time you see it, and I wasn't really sure what it was, but it's got her signature in the corner.
Oh, really?
And it is almost identical. It's the same style for sure of the portrait that she did for Gabriel.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say something. I don't remember what it was. Oh, like, we don't know that nobody asked about Anne, though. Like, we
Yeah.
only saw 6 years
Exactly.
after. So maybe they were like, hey, where's Anne? And Gabriel was like, I don't know. I don't know nothing.
Yeah, but that's huge. I mean, like, as suspicious as they are, as smart as they are over time, like, why wouldn't they be like, that's awful coincidental, But who knows at this point? Especially, like, when there's no reason why she would have been out and about away from the kingdom or Hilltop or wherever she was, or Alexandria, and then she just up and disappears one day. So, also, have you seen the red machete thing? Yeah, you have. I showed it to you. Yeah, have you seen the red machete thing on AMC's website? There's another fan theory that the red machete that Rick had at the very end of the red machete little mini short film that they did, there's a very suspicious person with very haunting music picks up the red machete. And there's a very iconic scene in the comics of when Rick goes to see Alpha and discuss the borders and all that kind of stuff. She's cleaning a machete. And nobody thinks anything of it until on the way back, and he sees what she's done. The border, the border
Game
of
of Thrones
heads.
stuff right there.
Yeah, heads on pikes, literally.
Yeah.
So, the theory says that she's got Rick's red machete. That would just be a cool little connection, but I don't think anybody would notice that it's
Nor care enough. Like, I don't even remember when Rick had it.
There's
Yeah.
nobody alive that would remember it or notice it now.
except Rick, and he's not there to notice it or be like, "Hey, that's mine."
Unless he just shows up with like a bazooka.
Or a helicopter.
Yeah, and that also begs the question. I think the 6-year time jump creates a problem for The Walking Dead because who Rick is as a person. In the first episode, he wakes up from a coma and he's on the search. He's looking for his family. His last episode, he's having fever dreams. Where's my family? Where's my family? So they double down on the where's my family thing. And then he gets carted off in a helicopter to God knows where. So whenever he wakes up and is healed, he's going to be looking for his family. If he's not, then I don't care to watch it.
I think
That's
he's in
not
prison.
Rick.
I think they've imprisoned him.
Yeah, he's either injured, imprisoned, or amnesia. I mean, there's got to be a logical reason.
That he's not out there searching for them.
Exactly, and he don't know where he is. Maybe he goes in the wrong direction, ends up in California or something. Who knows? But he's got 6 years. In 6 years, he hasn't made it home.
California.
Oh, the Fear of the Walking Dead just came from there.
I know. Let's sit right there and see what happens.
I say send him to the UK. That way Andrew Lincoln can film his own show and still have his family, and we can get Rick.
They wouldn't film it in the UK, though.
Why not?
Because then all the other people would have to move away from their families,
Well,
and
they
they'd
cast
be mad.
people over there, because, I mean...
I'm talking about, Greg Nicotero and...
Oh, well,
Like
they
those
could
type
get
of
other
people.
people.
Excuse you, there is no other than Greg Nicotero. All right, make a move.
My bad. All right, so...
Ghost, really.
He's like puppy dogging it up right now, being
I
as
know,
cute as
buddy,
possible.
I know.
So basically Rick is reset. Like, he's waking up injured, looking for his family. He's like, are we going to do something new with Rick, or is this just the same thing? So yeah, I think like they've talked about a flashback. I wonder if they're not going to play it up to a certain point and then pull back and cover the 6 years. And they're just toying with this whispers. They're teasing with the whispers thing. Like, that would piss me off. But it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of thinking of the long game here, because I mean, because obviously a lot has happened in that 6 years, or at least in that first few months. They could go to a certain point with the Whisperers, not leave it on a cliffhanger, but leave it somewhere it's kind of definitive. Go back, and then you see everything that happened and why everyone the way there is, why each community has its own set of rules, and why Michonne is just the coldest mom ever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because, I mean, the reason it creates a problem also is because we've jumped in the timeline six years, and then it's just going to keep marching forward. Even if they only cover a couple months in the next couple seasons, they don't even start filming Rick's 3 movies until 2019. And the first movie is going to come out in 2020. Second movie, maybe 2021, 2022. I mean, so we're talking 5 years down the road. Is The Walking Dead even going to be still on the air? How are they going to address... Because they've said they're going to do everything in their power to have that reunion between him and Michonne. So I don't see how that's going to make sense.
I think that what they're going to do is that they're going to finish out, the Whisperers plotline. It's going to stretch over this season and next season. Then they're going to start working on the movies, and the first 2 movies are going to be backpedaling and showing the 6 year, everything that he did in the 6 years. And then the last year is going to be current, and then they're going to meet up, and that's where they're going to end it. Right,
that makes sense for his timeline, but for this timeline, I mean, you're talking about 5 seasons, 3 to 5 seasons in the future that they still know Rick.
Even if they end the show like in just the regular Walking Dead, they can still and end it to a point where it's like kind of settled and you feel sort of satisfied. Even with like any one of Rick's movies, they can either finish it all then, or just like have enough of it where it's like, all right, so that's where everybody ends up.
Yeah, it connects.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then kind of join the 2 before the 3 movies are over. But then you get into him coming back on The Walking Dead. So why
The
even
Walking
still?
Dead's gonna be over.
It won't be The Walking Dead. It'll be called whatever, The Reunion.
Oh, so if The Walking Dead were to end, they would just
They're gonna end it
there.
on a note where they can match them up.
And then just keep his movies going? Because they've talked about 3 movies.
The third movie will be the last movie for everything, and that will be the end of all of it.
Yeah, but we're still talking 3 to 5 years in the future from now. And we're already 6 years ahead of when he disappeared. So we're talking like, what about 8 to 10 years down the road, potentially? Well, I'm just saying as far as like time, like that just adds more like why, you know? Like, because Rick is a person. If he's not trying to find his family, and over 3 movies he hasn't.
I feel like
made his
he'll
way
be trying
home.
to find his family, but it's going to be one of those things of like, oh, this is happening. For me to continue on my journey, I'm going to have to blow this up.
Side quests.
It took nearly 5
Pretty
movies for
much.
Jason Bourne to figure out who he was. I think they can figure
Well,
out
he had
how to stretch it
amnesia.
over 3.
He had
3
amnesia
movies.
though. Yeah, I'm just saying. I think it creates a problem. But that's my thing. So, anyways, so the Oceanside dead theory is debunked completely. We talked about that. The RJ real theory. You guys hinted that you weren't satisfied. We covered that. Apparently, Robert Kirkman was asked straight up if RJ was real, and he just kind of seemed to dodge the question. Although I haven't seen that footage, I kind of saw it like in comments. People were talking about it, so I'm not sure how it went down exactly. And
when we had talked about it last, we had talked about that Sadiq, the guy who plays Sadiq, Avi Nash, had said, well, me and Michonne are close because I delivered Michonne's baby, but we were wrong. He said Maggie, that him and Maggie were close because he delivered Maggie's baby. So there's no proof there, like we thought there was.
Yeah. So I mean,
except for Carol asking about RJ.
Yeah, Carol asked about RJ. That's the only definitive proof we have that RJ is real.
Unless, to me, if you were a fan of The Leftovers, which I watched, the character who is Justin Theroux's ex-wife, she is aware that he is crazy, but she lets him continue the cycle for a very long time, and she will like say things that she knows is not real but that he thinks are real. So like she'll say like something about Patsy or whatever.
Oh,
even though she knows that Patsy is not real and she's a figment of his imagination, that Carol is doing the same thing, that she's acting as this therapeutic. She knows RJ isn't real. She's just testing the waters to see how crazy Michonne still is. And she says, how's Judith and RJ doing? And she's like, well, she's growing so tall. He's growing so tall. And
what?
That's why she gave her that crazy look.
Exactly. Like, she knows, like, dang, she still believes that RJ's real.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen Fight Club, then you know how this theory works. Where they're a person, they're alive, and the other person's they're not the same person, but
it's not that if you have seen Fight Club, it's if you understood Fight Club, because I watched it and did not understand it until he explained it to me. So if you understand Fight Club, it's the idea that they're not real. They're in his head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they act because they're real to the person.
Know the whole time.
Yeah, or if you've seen A Beautiful Mind, that's another one where he's dealing with fake people, but nobody knows that they're fake, not real until.
Oh yeah. I forgot that one for a second. I was like, did I see that one? But I did. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't seen either one of those.
So I think, do you guys have anything else, or is that it for us?
That's it. You got 30 seconds.
All right. All right. Thanks for tuning in. This has been The Broken Dead. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or listening on podcast, we want to thank you for tuning in. And the website is www.broken.pictures. The store, www.broken.pictures/store. And you can get one of these cool t-shirts.
Yes, very cool. You have 8 seconds.
And this is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
I'm Quin. Bye.
All right.